Welcome back, club members, to part 2 of our Cabaret review.
Maybe this time we won't go off on so many tangents.
Doubtful, but...
Well, everyone, please go back and listen to part 1 before diving into part 2. But here we go.
All right.
So, Sally, picking up her laundry at the laundromat, meets Maximilian, who is a rich, married playboy and baron.
Mm-hmm. What can I say about Maxie? I know it's part of his character, but like I feel like they're giving it away too soon because the actor they picked, he's so smarmy looking. Like he just looks like, to me, I am sorry, sir, I don't want to be rude. Anybody who really enjoys this actor, I also am sorry. But in my opinion, I feel like his looks and his smile and the vibe he gets off is just so kind of, I wish he was more handsome and I wish he was more charismatic, and like it really like brought Sally in, and then like the money factor was like the cherry on top. Like I wish he was like, ooh, like hello Mr. Man, and then was like, you're really hot and you're really suave, and then all of a sudden the money came, and then that's when cha-ching. But like I feel like he's just so kind of, I don't know, like you know how they show guys in movies that are like, hey baby, what's your name, and you're like, ill. Like I got an ill vibe from him
Really?
Yes.
I never get an ill vibe from him, even towards the end.
Nope.
The only ill vibe I get from him is the fact that he's like, be ready for the Nazi regime. You know what I mean? That's the only weird thing I see about him as a character. But in general, he spends money on them and spoils them, and yeah, he's married, but he basically says she's off doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. This is what I do. I mean, he didn't really like proclaim his love for them, did he? Never saw it that way.
No.
Or do you just mean as like a person? Okay. Do you mean as the character, or do you mean as the way that this guy looks, this actor looks?
I'm not shocked by the way when we get later and he just dumps them and he's like, okay, had fun, bye. I'm like, he looks like that type of guy that would be like, had fun, bye. I wish that like he looked more suave and debonair and like, oh, I could really kind of fall for this guy. Like I feel like Sally's ready to be his like mistress on the side and like be like, ooh, I'm about to dump Brian and be with Max because he not only spends money on me, but I think she really was like getting to like him.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You know, but not to me.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but I do know what you're saying.
Or maybe I just wish it was like that. I don't know.
No, it's your opinion.
Yeah, to me, he was. Yeah,
it's totally your opinion.
I guess he's a smarmy character, so he looks like a smarmy character. But like now, granted, he's married, so he's cheating. We get that. He's just a playboy having a good time.
Yeah.
But I wish there was something more magnetic about him. He does not magnetize me at all.
But his attraction is money.
I know.
That's where my brain goes. That's where my brain goes.
Not for Brian. Well, Brian doesn't like his personality, and then still because he has this magnetism, he screws him. So, and even after he does it, he still is like, screw, we get there, but I mean, he doesn't like it, but he is attracted to him. He hates him, but he likes him. I wish there was something more to like about him, because it's like almost like, God, I hate you so much, but you're so damn hot and I really want to get you in bed. But to me, I don't see that. And again, everybody has different opinions. Everybody's attracted to different things. But for me, I just didn't think he fit the role.
Yeah, I thought Sally was always only interested in him for his money, and Brian was always only interested in him because Sally was interested in him. And he did not want to lose Sally. And because he was so close with her, he knew how much this all meant to her.
So he slept with him because of Sally?
Well, I mean, to an extent, I think that he started playing this game that they were both playing. But I see what you're saying. You wanted a little bit more smoothness with it, not such an obvious I'm paying for your time like a hooker, basically. You wanted smoothness to it, not smarminess.
I wish it was
a good word.
I wish there was a little bit more. And again, this is just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I just wish that the guy that they cast, in my opinion, had more of that duality. But we do get to see his big, bright, fancy car, which takes us into probably one of your favorite songs. Can I say that it's probably one of your favorite songs?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, it is. Definitely. I love Money.
Well, you love Money too.
But yeah, it's one of my faves. It's cool the way that it's interpreted in the movie. I think that you know, the even like the backdrop that they drop behind them during the song that has all the different currency symbols on it is really, really cool and artistic. It's fun to see Joel and Liza on stage together, just the two of them. I think that that's why it's probably one of my favorite numbers. Because
they really can like keep up with each other. Like they are going tit for tat. They are so equally matched in this. Their chemistry is so alive on this cabaret stage.
Yeah, there's even the shot at the end when they're dancing off, and you get the camera shot not just from the front seeing their silhouettes dancing off, but also like backstage as well. It's a great number.
I agree. And I think it's a fan favorite too. Like I see this number online, like I see clips of it in the clips community a lot. I see this number like, and yeah, I just think that they are,
and the costumes are cool too.
The costumes are great. Their chemistry together is just gold, dynamite. I can't say enough good about them together. Can I also just say that I love Liza Minnelli's Jewel beauty mark so much, and it was bringing me back to like 2010 when we started dating, and I used to wear the star sticker on my face.
The star sticker.
Oh my gosh.
And black nail polish sometimes.
Yeah, I had.
And guy liner or no?
No, definitely guy liner.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I had a look back in the day, and little did I know. I mean, I wasn't the first one to do it, but
you were young too.
I was young,
early 20s.
But I was like, oh my gosh, this.
Did I meet you at 23? Were you 23 or a little older? Probably a little older. I don't know. You were young.
I was 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but yeah, just seeing the little jewel beauty mark right near her eye, I was like, it's giving me my star.
It's my nod to my star.
We'll have to find a picture of that. I know we have a picture of us at like ketchup. Oh my god.
Max quickly befriends Sally and takes her and Brian to dinner. Later invites them to his country estate where they are both spoiled and courted. From the very get-go, when they're at lunch and Sally's showing off, at dinner, and Sally's showing off her.
No, it is. Lunch.
It is lunch. That's right. Showing off her mink coat that Max bought her, and Max bought, a engraved cigarette case for Brian, which Brian is like, why would you think that I would take that from you? He's basically trying to flex, and him waking them up to like surprise them that one morning with like champagne in their room. That was creepy when they were sleeping. That was creepy.
I swear to God, I think Sally thought it was creepy too. She was like, Brian, darling, we have a guest.
Yeah, that was wild. I didn't love that. I didn't love that at all.
Again, like, not to be rude, but if he wasn't so smarmy, if he was more like charismatic and debonair, maybe it would have came off a little less like serial killer-ish. But he was like, hello, I'm in your house. I was like, ugh.
So weird. We get a scene jump here from what's going on through the streets that are pretty gruesome, with you see people killed out on the streets while Max is driving Brian around. It cuts from people being slaughtered out on the streets to the Kit Kat Club where the MC performs Two Ladies. And I think it's Heidi and Mousy that are in that dance number with him. But it could be the other one, that Helga. I think Helga's the one with the really big blue saucer like eyeshadow eyes. But
If you're asking me about names, you know I don't know them.
well, people can chime in on that one of who the dancers are, but I think it's Mousy and Heidi, or it's Mousy and Helga. Thoughts on Two Ladies?
Well, before we go into Two Ladies,
Uh-oh. What I miss?
no, you didn't miss anything, but you kind of this is kind of where we get to see when they're driving by this is when the gun the shooting,
Correct.
and they're
Like
the
slaughter,
police
the blood
police are
slaughter
there
on the street.
This
The
is
blood
where you
slaughter.
kind of see Max and his kind of neither here nor there
Yes.
type attitude
Very
about
much so.
Nazism and the Nazis, because he makes this really kind of gross comment about like, well, I'm not for the Nazi party. I don't even know if he says it that way, but he says like, I'm not really here for it, but I think that like they're going to get rid of the communists and then we'll make them go away, like almost like we're going to use them and let them kill off the communists, and then once they're done doing that, we're going to shoo them away and say, well, we don't need you anymore. Like, and I think that if this was the attitude of other people in the country at the time, and I don't know if it was, but I'm, not to get too political on it, but this is probably why this happened, because there were people that were so just, okay, well, let them do what they came for, and then they'll just go away, which didn't happen.
Exactly.
So, it kind of showed how complacent he was, or complicit, that he didn't care, he was like, I don't care what they're doing, but they'll just go away eventually.
Yeah, it's almost like just look the other way.
And
I agree.
And yeah,
it's definitely showing things escalate to that point,
and this is kind of the start of Brian kind of being more into the money of it all, and kind of starting to enjoy it a little bit more, and ready to go to the countryside with Max. And this is where we go into like you said, Two Ladies,
because it's blending that world of a Three's Company situation. What do you call a couple? That's
throuple.
A throuple, yeah. This is where you go from kind of that throuple example of the Kit Kat Club song, and also them out on the boat together, at the country house together, drinking and partying together.
I think that I know that for this scene they have Joel Grey with two of the Kit Kat Club dancers who are female, and then at some point in the revival, I know that the 93 Sam Mendes revival still had Two Ladies, and then when they transferred it to Broadway, they switched that number and they made one of the Two Ladies, even though they kept the lyrics exactly the same, they changed one of them into a male. And I feel like with the way that they're trying to cut this scene, or kind of compare the scene, I think it would have made more sense. I know they probably wouldn't have done that in 1972, but I feel like the Two Ladies dance, had one of them been a man, would have fit so perfectly with this, because Max being Joel Grey, and then the Two Ladies now being his Brian and his Sally.
That is so interesting that you see it that way.
Yeah.
I always saw it as Joel Grey being Sally in that situation, because they are the performers, and the other two are the quote unquote just humans, the bystanders. I always viewed it that way. That's why it didn't make sense to me later on when they flipped the sexes around, because I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense, because now it's no longer the performer with two bystanders. But I see it exactly where you're coming from. This is why we're doing this, because it's cool to hear another person's like take on it.
Yeah.
I
guess
always just took it as
yeah.
performer and performer.
No, I guess just because I thought of the way that the song is kind of talking about like masculine and feminine roles and like him being the head of the household, I kind of equated that to money being power and him having the money. And now he's going into the situation with his two friends and he gets to, you know, they kind of do what I want because I'm the man and I get to,
I totally see that.
Like I have the money, therefore I have the power.
I totally see that.
Yeah, that's
the way
why
you're saying it, I totally see it that way.
Yeah, I was like, had they done the dance with a man,
there aren't
for
even,
me.
Yeah, and there aren't even men Kit Kat Club dancers until later on in the Broadway revival.
Going and seeing it again, there was so much more inclusivity. There were so many more male dancers. There were people of all different colors, shapes, sizes, beauty. Like it was all displayed, which I did think was so cool. Also, when we get this little montage of them, you know, enjoying the money, I was gagged when I saw them on the little boat with the butler.
So weird.
Because usually you see this, like, you see a giant boat or a giant yacht that has, like, you know, staff. But then you get this little rowboat and it's the three of them, and he still needed his butler there to pour the champagne. I was like, this kind of shows the bouginess that we're dealing with here. So I was like, wow, that's something else. If you ask me, that is something else.
In many of film classes, I know that they use this scene of the three of them dancing with the loud music playing and the camera almost swirling around with them. I mean, it is some really great camera work right here that's used. It feels kind of hazy. It almost makes you feel like you yourself might be inebriated while you're watching it. So really, really great work, and kudos to them for that scene and them pulling it off. Even the music going from blaring, it gets louder and louder and louder until nothing. And then it's just so quiet, and all you can hear is their breathing and like Brian being like brought back to the couch to lay down. Like, just such a great scene. Once again, for my little technical heads out there.
Definitely. I agree. It was very interesting to watch that little documentary before we watched the movie today. And they said that scene was like not written in. It was kind of just done. Like they kind of just went for it. So I don't know how much of that is true or not. Like maybe they just mean like their reactions, because obviously the camera wasn't just swirling.
Yeah, maybe they had it like storyboarded out, but like there was no script, there was no nothing. It was just, we know we want a scene of them hanging out together, maybe.
I will say though, with all the bad things I said about Max, that scene and the way that it all was constructed, it's so sexy and erotic and devious, because you know that like nothing's really happened or nothing has happened, but something about that, you know, something's about to go down. So it's very devious. Like you know that after they set Brian down, you know,
totally
what's gonna go down.
Oh, absolutely.
But even before that, you can kind of see that something is brewing between the three of them,
right?
Because it just, I don't know, the way that they all kind of look at each other. This going back to what you said about how everyone calls it a threesome, which they did not have a threesome, but it was they were eye screwing, I guess. Like they were eye screwing a threesome, but they didn't actually do it. But yeah, it's very sexy.
On their way home, I think it's the same day, but I'm not sure where Sally is. Is Sally like napping in the backseat of the car when they go to that festival? Or is it a different day when they go to that little festival outside during Tomorrow Belongs to Me? I could never
she's at home.
Yeah, see, I could never get the timing down on that. I always felt like there was a scene missing between them being at the countryside and then all of a sudden like Brian and Max like hanging out again. I just kind of wanted something else in there to line things up for me.
Well, there is a scene of them in the car. There's a scene with the three of them in the car, right, and they're hungover and she's
trying to get comfortable. Yeah.
But then at some point she's not with them. They go out to have a beer. or yeah, they go to that pub. Maybe they dropped her off because she
Was
was
tired.
hungover and wanted
Yeah.
to sleep, and they
Yeah.
decided to still go out and have a
I
beer
could never get that
because they
timeline
were
right
kind
in
of
my
bonding in the
head.
car. Like they were, I feel like they were kind of having a talking
Yeah,
moment while she was
totally.
asleep. So maybe they
Totally.
wanted to keep it going. And then, yeah, so you get into
Their relationship brewing. And this next song, which is Tomorrow Belongs to Me, it is the only song that is outside of the club. Still heard by the characters, everyone very aware that music is happening. So it still is diegetic. Because yeah, the surroundings, everyone's reacting to it. All of the people in the picnic area or courtyard are reacting to it.
they kind of do it. I know you had brought it up earlier and you had brought up The Sound of Music and Edelweiss, and how Edelweiss, they kind of wrote this song. Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote it like it was a real Austrian folk song.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's how they kind of added this song into the scene. They almost made it seem like it was a Nazi sympathizer
Mm-hmm.
song. Like Kander and Ebb wrote it, but they wrote it like it was a song, a traditional Nazi song, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you can say, from the 1930s. And that's how they, everybody getting up and singing it. It obviously was a song that in this story, these people knew.
The pan down of the Nazi dude, like his arm, that slow pan from just seeing his face singing, and then it like goes down through his uniform and you see the swastika. Ugh, it always like gives me those eerie chills when I see that.
Yeah, and then you get the bait and switch of he's a Nazi or a Nazi sympathizer, and these people are all aligning with this Nazi party, and you really are like, wow, what a beautiful song. Like had it been the first time you watched it, you're like, wow, what a beautiful song. And then you kind of get that pit in your stomach of like, oh God, that's what it was about. Jesus.
I know it is tough to admit that it is a pretty song, because like even though the melody is pretty, it's just the meaning behind it is just just gives you those eerie, it gives you those chills. But
that's not a bad thing to say though, because that's literally, we watched talking about the documentary, we watched them talk about writing the song and how beautiful it is, and he said the weirdest request he ever got was this Boy Scout club or
like
this
summer camps.
No, it was a Jewish boys camp.
That's right.
And they said, can we use this as our summer camp song? And he's like, do you know what this song is about? So, you're right in saying like it's
pretty in melody.
It's hard to say like it's a really pretty song, but that's what it was written for. It's literally that is the point. Yeah, the point of it is the bait and switch. Like it's supposed to sound beautiful, but it has a secret venom.
We jump to Fritz and Natalia, her running off saying that she no longer can see him, and Fritz desperately wanting to propose to her and get married. Natalia is like, this can't happen. I'm Jewish. You're not. Look around you. This is finally, we're seeing Natalia just kind of standing up for herself in a different way. You see that she's got some chutzpah in her during this scene. And yeah, I mean, like, I think they're acting in this car scene where he jumps on like the running board. Like they're acting together in this scene is really, really good. Once again, just visually, she looks so stunning with like her gloves and like the car looking so polished.
I was going to say, it is very interesting that they did decide to, for the movie, switch this relationship from an older couple to a younger couple. Like they did keep the same bones of it, but it, I did think that maybe it's just because it's Hollywood and they wanted it to be like a younger,
more palatable.
Yeah, they wanted it to be more palatable as a love story because in the stage play, you have this older couple that is falling in love and they're having it's literally the same love story about one is Jewish and one is not. but they've now switched it to these younger, prettier characters.
You seeing both, what do you appreciate more? Seeing the younger lovers that are dealing with this, or seeing the older lovers struggling with this?
The older. I think it works better. I think it's sad. It's so sad. Like,
Gotcha.
the whole thing is just, they find this love, and then, I just feel like, yeah, I think it works better.
I can understand that.
And I don't want to say that this doesn't work, because I do love this love story as well. But I think that because in the play they are later in life and they do find this love with each other, and you see this kind of love grow, and it's like, it's just so sweet that you're kind of like, you're rooting for them, and then it's just so sad to see it not.
It can be somewhat
to
almost
fruition.
more powerful that way. I think that the older couple, similar to when we saw Maury Eston's Titanic, the older couple storyline at the end, that's really like what pulls at my heartstrings, because that they're like, it's fine, we know that this is gonna happen, and we're gonna just go down together. Like, it's just so like, oh, it just gets you.
And I feel like that love story is, obviously, it pulls at everyone's heartstrings, no matter what version of Titanic you do. This was a real life couple, and they are put in almost every iteration.
So after a somewhat dalliance of an experience with Brian, Max drops Brian off, and Sally is getting ready, like packing for their trip that they're gonna have to Africa, that Max has like kind of like inflated in their head, that they're all gonna go on this trip together. And that's where Sally gets into an argument with Brian, right?
Yes. So he drops Brian off, and the eye contact tips off the audience that they've done the deed. Because they don't really ever say it, but it's the eye contact and the looks on their faces. You kind of know something has gone down.
And as the scene gets escalated, that's when Sally tells Brian that she's been having sex with Max, and Brian reveals that he had as well.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about when I said that, like, Brian, like, hate fucks him, because, like, he literally just did it, or it's assumed that he's just did it with the guy, but then he comes home and he's like talking about how much he hates him. But obviously it's because he sees how excited Sally is. She's ready to go, she's all excited, and so he starts to get pissed, and he's like, screw and that's seeing that Brian is so upset, that's when Sally is kind of like, well, you just hate him because he's the man that you'll never be, and he's got all this money, and he's so worldly, and you just pretend to be. And that's when he says, screw Max. And that's when she says, I did.
And that's when he says, so do I.
Yeah.
It's a pretty, I think it's also because he lost too. Like, he lost to succumbing to this whole the rich playboy.
Oh, like he wanted to hold out, and he just did not want to like this guy, and then he does it, and he feels kind of gross about it.
That's how I always took it.
I could see that,
but once again, it's cool that we're viewing these things through different lenses.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed that, like that's why I said that he kind of hate screwed him, because he obviously does not want to like this guy, and he doesn't want to like this lifestyle, and he kind of thinks he's gross, but he does it. And then, still seeing how enamored Sally is with him, he just wants to rain on her parade too. And that's when they kind of figure out that they've both been having sex with him. What I think is so funny about this scene is that I kind of eye roll love Sally's main character energy again here, because they're a couple. She has literally been cheating on Brian. She knows she's been having sex with Max, and she's ready to still have sex with him and go off and be on this safari or wherever they're going in the world. So to find out that Brian has also been screwing Max, you would think that she would go have a different reaction, either more shocked and maybe laugh it off and be like, oh my God, this is crazy. But she literally is like, you bastards.
Mm-hmm.
She still feels slighted, or she still feels betrayed because she thought she was being sneaky, and she feels like she's been double crossed.
Yeah, like how someone duped me. How dare someone dupe me over this?
Yeah, it's like the Uno reverse of it all.
Yeah, like I was putting this plan together. You guys aren't supposed to be planning this whole thing, you know?
Yeah, she thought she had one up on him, and then they were doing the same thing. And so I just love that in her mind, she has been slighted, even though she was doing the sliding as well.
Yeah, and like we said, like she's just that self-centered type of a character, you know?
And this is kind of like when they proclaim their love to each other again, right? Like they kind of decide to give it another chance.
Well, he leaves like frustrated and like has that.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay,
this is
okay.
So before that, this is where he gets put in the hospital basically for kicking over the Nazi flag. He gets beat up on the street.
So he's pissed about them both admitting that they've had sex with him.
Yeah, he's pissed. He leaves. He runs into this little, setup outside where there's a flag. He kicks it over, stomps on it, like starts a fight, and he gets beat up. So he ends up in the hospital, and that's where Sally goes to visit him, and that's their.
Is he in the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he was
there. Oh, I thought it was a hospital. Oh, is he just in?
I thought he was in his bed.
Oh, well, either way,
yeah, he was in a bed.
He's in a bed.
I could be wrong, but it was rather dark for a hospital.
It is very dark. You're right. And so he's all got his swollen eye. His lips are all bloody, and basically Sally tells Brian that Max left them a letter. And $300. Yeah. Well, 300 marks, which is like $150.
He paid them for their services.
Yeah, basically. He pays them. Yeah, not to mention all the stuff he bought them before, but basically, the little dalliance of a vacation is over. So Max is gone.
Your word is dalliance today.
Oh, that's my word,
and mine is palatable.
Yeah. So that's where they have their little reconciliation scene.
Yeah, they decide, all right, we had our fun. We both equally betrayed each other. Let's try to give it a go again.
This cut from here to the MC at the club in drag, mocking the Nazi like march with like a kick line that he does with the Kit Kat girls. And then also the shots back at poor Natalia's dog after it got murdered and is like, outside her porch. Awful. Once again, love everything that the camera work is doing and the sounds and just everything about it. I love it. Man, it just sends a chill up my spine when I see that scene. I will never get comfortable seeing that scene of that doggy laying outside her front door.
These are the kind of scenes that Kiki, my sister, will go online and check movies before she watches them because she wants to. I think there's a website called like Does the Dog Die or something like that.
Oh, yes.
And she checks to see like the times. Number one, if it has it, and number two, if she still wants to watch the movie, the timestamp, because she wants to not see it.
Watch it.
Because, I mean, okay, obviously this is a movie that is dealing with a very serious subject. So I could understand them wanting to add something this jarring, but there are a lot of times in movies where they kill a dog or they kill a cat, and it's just so not necessary, and it so doesn't add anything to the plot.
So next, Sally learns that she's pregnant, but is unsure of the father. The library scene. Great scene.
Oh, is this where she's like, shit, or God damn it,
I'm gonna have a baby. Well, whose is it? I don't know.
Oh, it's so good.
So good. Brian offers to marry her and take her back to his university life in Cambridge. No matter whose baby it is, he wants to be that man and stand with her. And
is this another scene where we have married in the background?
Oh,
I think that they have married in German.
Possibly
playing.
Yeah, possibly.
I think they play it a couple times.
They do, because when they're at their picnic, they have it playing as well.
I think that's later, right?
Yeah, that is later.
But I think this may be first. It was on
yes,
piano.
You know what? You're right.
This is married in German.
They are And they are celebrating at home with like drinks and that upside down kiss that they do after they reconcile and like are going to do this whole Cambridge life. The upside down kiss with the tie, her like pulling the tie down is
Mama, that's art.
So beautiful. Yes, yes, very much so.
That is a painting.
Yeah,
like when you have
so.
I think they have a trend online where they say like take a movie screenshot of a movie that looks like a painting. Mm-hmm. That to me looks like a painting.
I agree.
It's so beautiful.
I agree. Fritz comes to tell Brian that he has called it off with Natalia and confesses to him that he is in fact truly a Jew as well. He had lied on all of his papers when he came over to Berlin. So now he has to decide, is she worth fighting for and coming clean about all of this and then being a target for the Nazis? So we cut from that conversation between Fritz and Brian to the MC performing If You Could See Her with a gorilla. This song, I'm going to say, is my absolute favorite number of the musical. I think Money is probably my second favorite. This song is my favorite song from the musical.
Yeah, this one is very heart-wrenching.
I feel like the vocals are great. His acting ability is great. The lyrics and what you can do with this song, I think the satirizing and how deep, the whole, I mean, all of the deepening acceptance of anti-Semitism and during all of this, I mean, it is just, it's a great song. Everything about this song is great. Mm-hmm. Everything.
Yeah, this is the second bait and switch song that we get. The first one being Tomorrow Belongs to Me, but then this one is another one that you go through the entire song and you really don't know what he's talking about. And then when he does the final line, I feel like you get another pit in your stomach of just like, oh God, like this is what the song was about. Like, and you just feel so horrible that it was, you know, it was done in such a mocking manner, even though it's such a beautiful song. Like once you get to the point where you know that it's a joke, like it's just so gross.
It's a great way of teaching someone a lesson, not realizing that they're being taught a lesson.
Yeah.
You know?
It's also very interesting to watch it in an actual theater because you can kind of figure out who's not paying attention or who's drunk and not paying attention, because I feel like that line is obviously not supposed to get a laugh. Like you're supposed to feel, like it's a gut punch. You're supposed to, the whole song and seeing him dancing with the gorilla and everything, it's just supposed to be like very light and silly. But then when he says the final line, you're supposed to be shocked and in awe. But I know that a lot of the time now, this was a talking point online about this song and people not paying attention. And if you get the laugh when he says Jewish, if people laugh, it's kind of like, were you not paying attention?
Or
like,
did they not do a great job as an actor?
No,
too.
No, I don't think that. I think that if
you think people are just drunk,
because words are words. I think words are words, and like even if you read it without acting, you would know the point of it was to be, it was supposed to be mocking. And so I think when people laugh, it's like, oh, well, you weren't paying attention, or you're not paying attention. Try a little harder.
How many people complained about that? During this revival, like, were there a lot of actors in this role that complained about
that
it?
Was
or
the
was
whole
there
thing?
Like one actor that complained about it? Because I'm just curious. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong. I'm curious to know, was this a thing that happened ever since the revival that came out from with Alan Cumming? Like, has this been an ongoing thing, or was this a thing that happened with a particular actor? Because was it not the audience? Was it them that didn't perform?
How could it not be? How could it be him and not the audience? No, I'm honestly asking.
I don't know.
Because you're telling me if you read the lyrics on the piece of paper, you wouldn't know that it was supposed to be mocking.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course I would. Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying is that, like, I don't think it's who's performing the song. I think that if you're not paying attention, you're
It's just going to go right over your head. Got it.
So, but I do know that it was a story because I believe it was Adam Lambert who did stop a performance, or he did break the fourth wall, and he said, like, this is not funny. This is not funny. So whether he was right or wrong to do that, I'm sure it's happened before him.
I'm sure it's definitely happened before him. It's just very curious to me that it is not a story since this musical has been around for such a long time. Why is it recently just becoming a story? Are people getting more dumb?
I think it's a story because he broke character to say stop laughing because it's not funny.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean,
and you saw it.
Yeah.
You saw it live. I mean, how does the audience react? Do they clap? The movie does it pretty genius because they don't give you a moment to even clap. He just clowns off so much at the end, and the orchestration is so heavy at the end, it almost like pushes you into you were just sucker punched.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder how it's done on stage now. If it feels like a sucker punch, or is it like a quiet moment after he says it, you know?
Well, no, the music stops and he says the line, and so it's said like intense. It's almost said like,
yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's said very intense, but then,
I'd love to go back and watch a recording with like Alan Cummings and hear how the audience reacted like back then as opposed to now. I would be very interesting. Or what was the other one? Eddie Redgrave?
Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne. Yeah. It would be interesting to see like a performance of that number and to see how the audience reacts. Like, has society gotten that way? Maybe that's why it's baffling to me. Like, has it gotten that way that like nobody gets it?
I think that I think there are things, no matter what time in history, that there are things that just go over people's heads. But maybe just this one actor just couldn't, like, actually got offended and couldn't take it. And it's like, was he right? Was he wrong? I don't know, because if a joke doesn't land, I don't think somebody on stage should go, "Hey, that you should have laughed at that. That was really funny."
Well, obviously not. I mean, that's just not professional. So I agree with you on that.
So I mean, not to go off on another tangent, but what do you think that he should have done that then? Do you think he should have done the opposite and said, "Hey, don't laugh at that. That's not funny"?
No, I don't think that he should have ever said that to anyone. And if he had a problem with it and if he felt like it wasn't landing, he should have told the director, "I feel that this joke doesn't land. I think that the audience thinks that it is funny and it's not supposed to be funny. What can we do to make sure that I am doing it right so that they're not thinking that it's a gag?" That's what I'm saying. I kind of want to watch other versions to see, did other people get the same reactions?
I don't know. It's a good question, but like, I just feel like
not putting it on Adam, because it could very well be audiences of today. They just literally might be this dumb to not understand.
But you know what? To add on to that, it could not be Adam's fault, but at the same time, it could be Adam's fault. Meaning, if people went to go see Cabaret just to go see Adam Lambert, never seen Cabaret, not caring really about Cabaret, not caring about the plot line, you're just there to see a star sing, they could have very well just been Adam Lambert fans that just were like, like,
yeah,
just kind of feeding off of every line.
Totally. Like, just enjoying him in the moment, no matter what.
Yeah, like, but just not paying attention to what he was actually singing. So maybe it was inadvertently his fault because he was a huge star. He is a huge star.
So no matter what, they're gonna laugh at
they're just lapping up whatever he says.
That's a good way of saying it, actually. They're just lapping up everything. I know we went on pretty long about this, but yeah, it makes me curious to know, because you had told me that story before, but it didn't dawn on to me until right now, where I'm like, why is this just a story for one person? Like,
it's a story, Not to keep saying it, but it's a story for one person because he broke character.
Yeah.
Like, it's not it could have happened before, but it was a story because he stopped and reprimanded the audience.
Yeah, and if there are 10 people in the audience that laugh at it, but 300 people that didn't laugh at it, then you know that certain people just aren't paying attention.
So
Very interesting. This is all very interesting, especially that a song is this impactful that it does drive up this much like conversation, you know?
yeah. But anyway, sorry to
No sorries.
sorry to go on so much about this, but it is just very
Well, now people are gonna go out and listen to the song, and they're going to go on YouTube and go find different versions of it just to like hear it and
or watch. You have to really watch the performance too to kind of see the impact of what's going on and what it's supposed to represent.
He's such a clown at the end. That's what I'm saying. In the movie, he's such a clown at the end. You don't feel anything but sucker punched. So it makes me wonder, like, how is it now presented on stage? Is it very clowny and vaudeville after he delivers the line, or is it just like I said the line and now there's quiet in the audience? Like, because if that's the point, that's what I'm saying. Maybe direction wise is where it's not working, you know? Like the song still works, but the direction's not working. Anyway.
The world may never know.
Let's get Adam Lambert on the phone. Let's call him right now.
Courtney?
Right? She must have his cell.
Yeah.
Fritz takes the leap, comes clean to Natalia, and marries her. See, boo, sometimes true love does persist.
Yeah.
After the wedding, during a picnic between Sally and Brian, Brian starts acting distant and uninterested, and Sally becomes disheartened by the vision of her and this bored faculty wife lifestyle of washing dirty diapers over her life there in Berlin. Yes, this moment over the radio, you definitely hear some of their married love sonnet that's playing.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say earlier, but I didn't want to give it away, is that it almost becomes their anti-love song.
Yeah.
Like every time they try to make it work, they play Married, but
you're right.
It's almost like when they're trying to conform and like make these
trying to make it work.
Make the square go into the circle peg or whatever. They're like
very much that.
They're like, okay, we're gonna try to make it work, and then Married plays, and it's kind of like their anti-love song. Because like, yeah, in this scene, you kind of both see them kind of dreading it. Like he's like, God, do I want to spend my life with her? And she's like, God, do I want to do this? Do I want to be a housewife / mother in Cambridge? So yeah, I think it's interesting to see where the song kind of, it becomes their theme, but their anti-theme.
This is where they go back home, and Sally comes home, and we find out that she has had an abortion.
But before that, we get that really cool scene of her where she's kind of looking off into the distance, and she sees the little boy on the stairs. And that's like another, like,
oh, that's an awesome scene.
Yeah, it's kind of like her.
Isn't that her walking to the clinic? That's her, isn't it? Her walking upstairs to the clinic in the mink coat.
But doesn't it start in the club and she's kind of looking off to the side, and then like she goes up the stairs?
Oh, I thought it's either that or it's like at the picnic scene and she's visualizing it in her head. It's one of those two shots. But I always took it that she was going to the clinic in that shot. That's how I took it.
Yeah, she was wearing like a red outfit, and it looked like she was by a curtain, but then maybe she's daydreaming, and then when then it goes into her going up the stairs to the actual clinic, because that's when she's wearing her coat. And then when she goes home and Brian is asleep on the chair and wakes up, she no longer has her coat. Which,
like, that's what pushes him to know that she went to go have the procedure done.
It fits perfectly, obviously, with this movie because it is gritty, and they're not gonna like shy away from topics like that. So
when he confronts her, she does share her fears with him, and the two of them reach an understanding. This bedroom scene is also one of those great scenes between them. I think I'm going to say this is Michael York's best scene in the movie. I mean, Liza's a rock star during this too. I do love the way that it's almost like he comes to an understanding that she was not wanting to guilt him into this life together, because whether it was his child or not his child, he was trying to do the right thing. But I do like I think the way he delivers it is pretty cool, because it seems like he loves her in this way. That's how I always took it, that she loves him so much, that she didn't want to guilt him and force him into this life together.
No, I agree. That's exactly what I was gonna say, is that like you kind of start off and you can kind of see that he feels like she is being so selfish in this scene, and did it behind his back, and you started off with that, but you kind of realize that this is probably Sally in her most unselfish moment, because she knows this is not going to work. Their lifestyles just don't match up. It's never going to work. And she knows deep down that, and won't say it again because they just won't talk about queerness in this movie, but she knows that he does not want to be with her and probably wants to be with a man. And I think that this is her, when you love somebody, you have to let them go type moment, if you will. Oscar. It's another one of those Oscar clip scenes that they would put in the Oscars now.
It cuts from this scene to her taking Brian to the train location where he's departing back to England, and Sally continues her life in Berlin, embedding herself still in the Kit Kat Club, and closes out the film with the song Cabaret. What are your thoughts on this song?
When I was seeing the goodbye scene, it was reminding me of, like, you see this kind of character trope sometimes with these enigmatic female roles that are kind of like, they come into your life like a whirlwind, and it's not a forever romance. It's kind of like this short-lived tornado, and it's never going to work, and then they're just kind of gone, and they've kind of left this impact on you. It's kind of that end to their whirlwind love, and she's off to live her life and go back to being at the cabaret.
I feel like the song does a great job narrating that, don't you?
Yeah, again, Liza could sing anything and she's going to sound amazing. This is probably one of the most famous songs from the show.
I agree. It's the most well-known.
It's wonderful, and it sounds like a happy song, but when you're really listening to it, it's not really a happy song. It's kind of like ride it till the wheels fall off kind of song, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because even a lot of like Chicago's music, if you think about like the written text of it, this is way more avant-garde than Chicago, but still, not everything is so just happy. And I agree, the song is not necessarily a happy-go-lucky song, but it sounds like it, but it's not. The lyrics aren't.
It is one that you can kind of manipulate the wording and the performance, and you can perform it so many different ways. I think that Liza kind of performs it a little bit both. Like, you can kind of see some sadness in there, and you can kind of see some big performance, I guess. So yeah, I think she's wonderful. I don't like her Donna Summer outfit.
What is up with this like bohemian, like with the bell bottoms and the fringy belly button showing, and I don't get it.
I hate this outfit. I mean, I like this outfit on her. I think it looks great on her. I don't like this outfit for Sally Bowles. And again, if this was a style in the 30s, great. Prove me wrong. but to me it just comes off like 1972.
Agreed.
And then when the curtain opens and there's like the galactic lighting in the background,
You're
that's like
no,
ding, 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 ding. Like
what are you doing?
I was like, Studio 54.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, it's so that.
Oh my
it's
god!
So that.
I thought she was gonna like open up like a vial and snort some cocaine or something.
No. Well, I mean, it would fit.
But
yeah, yeah, I don't like the outfit at all, and the eerie camera shots at the end with the Kit Kat Club when the MC is like bidding the audience farewell, basically closing down the show for the night. But the way that the camera pans with like the reflections of the audience, and now we basically are seeing the audience full of Nazi party uniforms, now sitting all up in the front seats too. I mean, literally at the beginning of the film, we had one guy being kicked out of the club by the manager. Now the club is just full of them. What a eerie vibe to close the movie. And you said it. I think I'm going to let you say it because I think you said it about the audio at the end that like tripped you out, how it's just silence.
Yeah, he doesn't leave any room for interpretation.
Nope.
Like he wants you to sit and stew in this because it tells you like, I don't know what the time period is. I'll just say like what a difference a year makes, because that's just, maybe it was a year. I don't know. But what a difference from the beginning to the end, because the joy and the vibrant performance style in the beginning when you start this movie, and then you end it and this band is playing up there and just something is off with their performance. Even it could be the cinematography, it could be the way that it's edited, but it's almost like you can actually see that they are like tired, almost like they are trying their best to play the game, but they are tired up there. And then the way that it ends with that mirror similar to the beginning, but when it pans over and you start to see all those swastikas on there,
I know
it is the third pit in your stomach of this movie. I know there's many of them, but for me, this was the third pit, the third sucker punch. It ends like a horror film, and you get that shot and there's no freaking music and the credits start playing, and it's, I don't want to, I've cussed on here, whatever, but it's fucking genius.
It really is.
It is genius. Because you are supposed to feel like that. You are supposed to leave there with a pit in your stomach and go, ugh, because that's what it was. And so he knocked it out of the park. That is the only way I feel like that movie could have ended.
I know, director, Academy Award, well-deserved, Mr. Fosse, and your ex-wife at the time that was probably editing this.
Oh shoot. Yeah, if you believe what they showed in Fosse Verdon and how much she helped with that, I don't know whose idea that was. I don't know whose brain that came out of.
Yeah, but we credited as an editor, Gwen. Like, geez,
whoever did it, genius.
Well, that brings us to the end of our film. This is going to be like 2 hour-and-a-half episodes. My goodness, we had so much to say about it. It's just such a great movie.
It really is. Like I said in the beginning, I said, oh my God, this is the most notes I've written on a movie.
That's right.
And this isn't even, you know what? I probably wrote less for other ones because like something like Meet Me in St. Louis, I just know in the back of my head.
Oh, that's true.
But in this, I was like, I really got to write stuff down because I don't want to forget. But,
well, what was your favorite overall thing about this film, Boo?
My favorite thing overall in this would have to be Liza Minnelli. No one else could play this role. Going off of how they have, idolized her in this movie in coming generations, I don't think people would realize if they've never seen it what a performance this is. Because when you see the mine hair outfit, when you see the performance wise,
like you said, it's always going to go to that.
I think that people will go, oh, she's really well known for this movie. I can't wait to see it. But they're going to think that they're only getting one side of Liza Minnelli, and I feel like they are getting so complex of a performance that she is a sensation. To go from the highs of highs to the low of lows in one movie, it's you have to be a pretty special actor to do that kind of role. And so, you know, hats off to Miss Liza Minnelli. She's a queen. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't even bring that up.
What?
Liza with a Z. I'm just, because when I think of this movie, I don't think I've listened to the soundtrack as much as I've listened to the Cabaret medley on the Liza with a Z soundtrack.
See, it's just so funny that we hold her in different like categories, because I couldn't tell you if I've ever watched that movie all the way through, or that live concert all the way through. I definitely never had the album. Like, that was just something I never gravitated towards, you know? So interesting that we both have that different, you know.
The Cabaret medley in that on that soundtrack and in that film is,
yeah, you definitely have played that for me before, but I just mean like the whole thing.
What was your favorite thing about the film?
It's so hard for me to say one thing. There are a few things that get me a bit choked up about this movie when I talk to people about it. I think that Fosse was incredibly revolutionary. I think that Kander and Ebb were brilliant. But I guess I'll have to, if I had to throw my money on one thing about this film, I do think that technically, cinematography wise, it is a masterpiece. I think that the way it's shot is so fascinating. That the editing is so fascinating. Everything, the sound is incredible. Yeah, just if I had to put my money on one thing, I just think that technically it gives me all those feels when I think about what the camera people were doing with this, and what they were doing in the editing bay with this movie. So yeah, that's what I would say is my overall favorite thing. What was your least overall favorite thing about the film?
My least overall favorite thing, and this is not to say that he is not a good actor. I want to go back to that, but for me, I would just say I didn't feel like the actor who played Max was the perfect fit, in my opinion, for that role.
Got it.
But I knew that Sally was not going to get her happy money ending. I knew that I knew from the very beginning. I feel like
a different actor and a different vibe for Max.
Yeah,
you prefer.
I would have liked it to be a little bit more of a,
yeah, I get it,
a bait and switch, I guess. I don't know.
I get it. For me,
yeah. What was your least favorite thing?
Very simple. I just would have liked a few more songs in the movie.
Oh my God, this can't be your favorite. This least favorite thing for every movie.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the only thing I could think about, because it's a pretty perfect movie. I wish that there were some deleted numbers that they did. I like the telephone song in the musical.
But how would they have done it?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I just think it would be cool if we had some different musical numbers. Married is a beautiful song. So yeah, that's very simple, right?
Yeah. Before we end this, I forgot to go over this, but I thought it was an interesting little tidbit. Have you ever heard the phrase MPDG?
MPDG. No.
It stands for Manic Pixie Dream Girl. And the reason that I found this is because when we were looking up information on the movie, when I was looking up Maybe This Time, there was a review on this film, and the person who reviewed it described Sally Bowles as a manic pixie dream girl. Writing her iconic solo Maybe This Time can be considered the MPDG theme song. And when I looked up the phrase, It says, usually depicted as a young woman with eccentric personality quirks who serves as the romantic interest for a male protagonist. The term was coined in 2007 by film critic Nathan Rabin after observing Kirsten Dunst's character in Elizabethtown. So this must have been a recent review that called her this, if it's a newer phrase. But just saying that, like, um, I just thought that that was such a funny phrase.
Do they list
Manic
any other ones?
pixie dream girl. Katharine Hepburn's role of Susan Vance in the 1938 screwball comedy film Bringing Up Baby has been described as an early example of the character. Interesting choice of words, I guess.
An acronym.
Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to bring that up earlier, but I wanted to still bring it up.
Without mentioning anything about Rob Marshall or Chicago or Nine, leaving that completely out of this, how do you feel about a legacy of Cabaret has impacted culture or film or something? But try not to go to that because we all know that.
Okay. I would say that without talking about Chicago or Nine or that actually story type archetype of a plot line, I would say that it made it. I think that Cabaret made it okay for a musical to be taken seriously and to be taken as a drama, because I feel like there have been musicals that had a more dramatic storyline, but they've always they always tend to be more lighthearted.
Yeah, quote unquote showy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think this is the grittiest and the most adult themed musical that's
Mhm.
probably ever been. And I think that it kind of made it okay for other musicals to be that way and say it doesn't have to be Disney. It doesn't
Mhm.
have to be MGM. It doesn't have to be RKO. It doesn't have to be Astaire and Rogers.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, we can make a film, a prestige film for adults and have it be gritty
Mhm.
and raw. And we've seen them.
Mhm.
We've seen them a lot now.
I mean, this film went up against Godfather. Like,
yeah, and now granted,
know?
Godfather won Best Picture, but they swiped up all but two.
All but two.
So
I know.
yeah, they really kicked some ass, and people liked it. So I think the legacy stands right there. And I mean, we know the legacy of the other part as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I will just on top of that, just add to it. I agree with you 100% on that. And I will just highlight that I do think that similar to what we said earlier, the graininess, the imperfections of things, cinematography wise, this really like changed the game a lot because you could just be sloppier with it. Yeah, I feel like that's a word to use. Like some of the stuff was just sloppy and it made it art, you know?
We could just go on
I
and
know.
on
Seriously,
and on about this
that's
movie.
3 hours of Cabaret, you guys.
You're probably gonna cut some of it.
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna definitely cut some of it out. But yeah, this is 3 hours of us talking about it. But we do love this film. You know, as we had said before, it's interesting that it's cool doing this because Jeffrey and I have had such different introductions into movie musicals in our lives that it is nice that we get doing this podcast together. It's nice to see those differences, and fortunately Cabaret is one that we definitely both love, but I grew up with it, he didn't. So it's cool that I got to experience that. He got to experience that more with me in life, similar to I got to experience Meet Me in St. Louis with him in my adult years because I did not grow up with that film. So it is very cool and very sweet for me to have these types of experiences with you because you can appreciate things and you see things a lot differently. You know, I may get the chills up my spine for certain things and you are looking at something else entirely. And it's just fun when it's about movies like this that we both just like.
This was a fun one too, because not that I don't have not that I have a problem at all with disagreeing with you. Like, there are movies and there are moments, and there's probably moments in this one as well where we probably said like, no, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, like
But
Max.
yeah, exactly. But I did enjoy that there were several moments where we both had different interpretations, but I don't feel like I ever thought yours was wrong. I went, oh, I loved feeling like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Like, it added an extra layer. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I didn't get that at all. Which again,
it wasn't like eye roll.
Yeah, exactly. Which I wouldn't have minded if you take art one way and I take art another way. That's just what it is. But it was just interesting to get the extra layers of the onion and parts of performances and parts of scenes that I go, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. Like when we were talking about Two Ladies, I took it one way, but when you said it your way, I was like, oh, I swear I never took it that, like, I never thought of it that way. So it was just fun. It was fun to kind of, oh, I kind of want to go back and watch that again.
Yeah.
And see it through your eyes.
Or like you probably don't often sit in movies with me like this, where, you know, I'm literally saying like, oh, I love the cut that's coming up right here. Pay attention to this cut. It's like, what? Like, how do you know exactly what moment this is going to cut from? But I think it's cool that certain things like the acting like sends chills up your body. And for me, I'm just there like giddy waiting for all of those cool little moments that I've always remembered. Like, and it's, I don't know, it's just exciting. This movie is amazing. We got to stop. Otherwise, we're going to talk for 4 more hours about this. All right, let's spin the wheel. Oh my gosh, the wheel is half full. The wheel is half full.
Oh my God.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Is this Pride Month or something? What the heck? So first we had Judy Garland in Meet Me in St. Louis. Now we go into Liza with Cabaret. And now the ultimate boss. We are going to Barbara Streisand in Funny Girl.
I swear, I feel like we've seen Funny Girl so much over these last few years.
And I don't care.
Like,
is it my birthday? Like, oh my God.
I just feel like it was so the thing. Remember the whole Lea Michele Funny Girl wave that happened? Like, that was huge.
I'm excited. And like I said, I don't know if it's Pride Month in an alternate universe. I don't know if it's my birthday in another universe, but we're getting 3 gay icons in a row.
Yeah, what's next? Cher in Burlesque? We know that's not on the AFI
that's
list.
Definitely not on the list. But do we have to get a lotto ticket or something?
That's not on it. You know.
Is this like the gay trifecta? Like, are we gonna win some money?
Right? Well, everyone go out and watch 1968's Funny Girl.
I'm excited.
Thank you guys for listening.
Do we get to watch Funny Lady as well?
No, not watching that.
We can do it as a bonus.
I'm barely gonna get through Funny Girl.
You better watch your mouth.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Go follow us on social media at Hollywood Hubbies. You can find us on Instagram and also on TikTok. You can also follow Jeffrey's awesome musical clips page at Fave Musical Clips.
Fave, F-A-V-E, musical clips.
Thank you all for listening. Leave some comments. Leave some feedback. Until next time.
Until next time with Funny Girl. Woo!
Bye.
Bye.